Lionel, is that you?
There, I think I got it.
Lionel?
Whatever happened to those White Rose guys?
Sorry, I had to step away. I wanted to make sure all our office phones were on Do Not Disturb. I don't know what you guys said.
I think they're back, Lionel.
Yeah, I think they're back. Yeah. Well, you'll hear it when you listen to this podcast.
Oh my gosh, it started already?
It did, yeah. Yeah, well, I said just hang on a minute and we'll introduce you. And then I screwed up the technical. I had technical difficulties at my end, which I guess is when you went off to do something. And then Derek and I barely started it, and I think I said, "Well, you'll hear it."
Okay, I can't wait.
We know you listen to all the podcasts, Tom. So.
I don't know. It's weird to listen to yourself.
And I'm assuming you listened to some of them twice.
Yeah. I only listen to podcasts I can learn something from, and I don't think I can learn anything from myself. So I'll listen to the ones that people are not on, that I'm not on.
Okay, what about
more intelligent people than me?
Well, can't you learn something from us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Derek, maybe.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there you go. I got a sense that it's Ryan has failed to show.
Yeah, we're trying to get ready for Amherst. He's trying to wrap up some stuff with BCW, and December was just crazy. It went from 2025 was a not great year for the hobby industry. Maybe some shops did great, but we kind of struggled. And then it was like a light switch happened in the fourth quarter, and December was not so. So that's
what's BCW?
That's Bethlehem Car Works. That's the company that we bought that
right.
The model kit. Yeah. We've talked about that.
So around the old White Rose offices, it's fondly referred to as BCW.
Yeah, that's an acronym for Bethlehem Car Works.
But
I think there's something about this show we don't do acronyms. I was scolded once before.
Yeah, exactly. We try to avoid. We can do acronyms once people understand, primarily me, what they are.
Yeah,
and then I can start, firing them out there like I know what's going on.
Right. Okay. I apologize. That won't happen again. Probably on the next podcast.
Well, we got to get Ryan. Ryan doesn't like us. He's scared of us, isn't he?
No, he's not. So, every team has their strengths and weaknesses, and I don't know, he does great. I think if you're in store here, he would love to talk to you. He talks to customers all the time. I think he just gets nervous being in the spotlight.
Okay. Well, we're going to put him in the spotlight when we get to. Let's see. Today is. Don't tell me. Let me get out the big calendar on the wall. Push a button. Push that button. Today is. I'm looking. I have it right at my fingertips. Today is January the 12th. Monday, January the 12th.
Maybe in Canada, but in the United States, it's the 8th.
Well, you see, we're pre-recording this.
Oh, yeah, sorry. You edit that part out.
You think we edit these?
Seriously, you don't own this place. You and Ryan don't own this place. This is some kind of a ruse where I've been sucked in to
right. Wow. See, that's something we should have said before we got on. That today's the 12th.
No, you gotta. It's this is like live theater.
Oh, okay.
So you've done the play a dozen times, and you come out and your shoelace isn't tied and you trip. Well, that's not in the script of the live play, but you improvise, and you don't go, oh my God, you don't turn to the audience and go, oh my God, my shoe's untied. I've ruined the whole scene. I'm going to go back and come back again. You improvise.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just learning so much about the rules of this podcast every time I'm on.
Yeah, exactly. Like I imagine you guys have to improvise in the store all the time.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day we do that.
So it was really slow then up until Christmas season.
Yeah, I told a lot of people on our staff this when our meetings, and it was like October 15th, there was an inflection point. Like if you look at our sales, whatever happened in the world, October 15th, it was up and to the right since then. And we built a lot of momentum going into 2026. So we're pretty excited. I think.
So overall, things are going well.
Yeah, short term they are. Yeah. And we have a big plan for 2026. And I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be our best year yet.
Okay. So what are some of these big plans you got planned?
Just internal stuff, making the company more efficient so we can serve our customers better. So everyone has a better experience. The staff is more empowered to do that than ever before. Because we are online, but we also love our brick and mortar store. That is our bread and butter, and we love it when families come in here and can experience a hobby. Not just, I know this is a model railroad podcast, but we're a full line hobby shop. So if you want to build a model kit, if you want to build a Bandai Gundam kit, if you want to do RC or model trains, we can facilitate that. And we see families all the time doing it. And that's what really makes us happy. So,
yeah, that's the big part of it. And it is a model railroad podcast, but we've talked to a few other people in other ones where they do wargaming and stuff like that, which actually I've kind of enjoyed. And so the fact that you're a full service hobby shop is pretty cool. But you touched on something there that Derek, I'd like to ask a question.
Oh, okay. We could do that on this show.
So you said, it sounds to me like you said that the store part, the brick and mortar part, is really, really important to the overall success of the store.
Yeah.
And isn't that kind of unusual in today's world? Or are you finding, because of your ties with your industry, that the really successful stores have a really successful brick and mortar part as well? Because I was getting the sense that every store was becoming nothing more than a warehouse for their goods.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. You got to do that to pay the bills. But at the end of the day, the most profitable segment of our company is somebody walks in here and gives us money for something on the store, on the shelf. So and plus we get to meet people, right? This is about a hobby of connecting with people and doing what you love and having fun. So that's what we've tried to facilitate. And then on the RC side of things, we have the on-road track here, and we're adding some new classes of cars for more beginner type people this year for the on-road. So that's going to be a huge, huge bump up. And then we have the rock crawling course as well out back. And I've actually started working on that with Jason, our RC guy. He's done a lot with the crawler course, and we're adding probably, I'd have to measure exactly, but probably about 5,000 more square feet of rock crawling happiness. I know it's a little off topic, but yeah, we already have, as far as I can tell, the largest one on the East Coast. And when we get done with this expansion, it's going to be probably the biggest public one in the country, I would think. We're close to it.
That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah.
It's a destination hobby shop.
That is, yes, you just hit the nail on the head, Derek. That's what we want to be.
I want to know if we could go, I'd like to make a suggestion going forward. I don't think you should apologize for talking about any aspect of White Rose Hobbies, because as the official sponsor of the Modeler's Life podcast, I think we need to cover every subject because many model railroaders are interested in things other than model railroading.
Yeah.
So I don't think you should apologize. Plus the fact you're paying thousands and thousands of dollars every month just to have that privilege.
Well, first, I thought that White Rose Nurseries was the sponsor of this.
It was for a while.
But then they stopped paying the invoice. So
okay.
Yeah, they'll track you guys down. Yeah.
But yeah, no, Lionel, you have the right idea there. We carry a lot of paints and hobby products that you need for no matter what you're into. If you're a model railroader, or if you like building dioramas for your war games, or you're a World War II model kit shipbuilder guy, we have all that here. So
I think it's interesting that you guys have different product lines in the hobby category. I guess what I'm wondering is, you're at a cross section of multiple, let's say, types of hobbies. Do all the hobbies perform equally over time? Or do you see certain trends like, hey, as of October 15th, the train hobby really picked up and the RC went down, or vice versa? Like, because you have multiple product lines, do you see different trends inside of them?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Derek. Yeah, we do. There are seasonal things. Model railroading for us seems to be, because we live in the north. Mm-hmm. So when the weather gets crappy, more people start to do model trains, and it definitely picks up. This past year, model kits, like plastic model kits, were huge. They were the biggest. It was the biggest increase that we've ever had in those. We've always carried them, and this year they sold really, really well. I don't know if in 2025 people were strapped for cash and they weren't doing other things, and they said, "Well, I could build a model kit." I'm not really sure, but plastics were really big for us this year.
Plastic model kits are an incredible bang for your buck because you can spend $50 to $100 and have 20 or 30 hours of fun.
Yeah, well, I don't have any patience. Yeah, I don't have any patience, so for me, it would not be fun.
Right.
But if I got like convicted of a crime and the judge said a weekend in jail or put some really detailed model kits together, I'm like, I'll pack my bag and we'll go to jail. But I tell all our customers that all the time. I'm like, man, I kind of envy your patience because I just don't. I mean, that's why I'm an RC guy. Like, I like building the RCs, but they got to go fast and do stuff. So
that was all really interesting stuff. I was hurt that you said Derek's question was really interesting, though.
Oh. Well, if you ask an interesting question, I'll tell you that it's an interesting question.
I just bought something from White Rose Hobbies not that long ago. I wanted to buy some Bob Smith Industry glue, but at that time you were sold out of that, so I went with the Jet. Yeah. I went with the Jet glue, whatever that company is.
How did that work out for you?
Well, you didn't have it right away, but then you had it like 2 days later, and I'm getting a flurry of emails. Okay, now we got it. We're sending it right out. Okay, it's out the door. Okay, you should get it any minute now. Stand by your door. It should show up just in about next couple of minutes. So it was quite fun to go through that.
I'm glad our email system worked out for you.
Yeah. Well, except it was, I every time my phone kept buzzing, I'm thinking, is this the Toronto Maple Leafs finally calling to ask me to try out? No, it was just another email from White Rose Hobbies. Yeah. It's like we've taken it off the shelf. We're now walking towards the packing room. So okay, but how many employees do you have?
I have 6 full-time employees, and then we have one guy that's part-time seasonal guy, and another guy that's just part-time all the time because he's like semi-retired.
Right. So it's 6 plus you and Ryan.
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds more. I mean, hold on. Let me use my fingers to count. Give me a second. Yeah, that's close. Close enough. So 8 people on staff.
So when you have the Christmas party, there's 10 of you sitting there. But you guys are growing constantly.
Yeah, we have a really good team. We let go of some part-time people at the beginning of last year, and the core team that we have now is just honestly they're really good. We made it through 2025, and we're excited for 2026. We're building momentum, and I think you'd be hard pressed to walk into a hobby shop somewhere else in this country and find a friendlier staff.
Yes, I understand that, and that's huge. That is huge. Because so many times you'll hear people talk about a hobby store, and I went in there and, they wouldn't talk to me, or a lot of times, I think the biggest thing is a lot of times people are made to feel stupid by the staff because the staff knows it. And it's kind of like, well, no, but I don't know this. So, people don't want to be made to feel, small. They want to be made to feel like they're important to the store.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was one of the core things I wanted for my company. And when I was a young teenager going into hobby shops, because I was into RC cars, sometimes the staff would almost look down at you because you're asking questions and you don't know, and it, really turned me off. And I never wanted that for here. And that kind of culture has spilled out even to our competitors. The on-road track that we have for on-road racing is probably one of the best ones in the area. And some of the top racers really in the country call this track their home. And even those guys who are at the top level of RC competitive racing are still very approachable. If you're new, you can go up to them and say, hey, this is what my car is doing. Can you look at it? And they will. They'll take the time. They won't blow you off. So it's really been something that we ingrained into White Rose, where if you come in here, we want you to feel comfortable and welcome, and we want you to ask questions. Because, I mean, when I'm in the RC department, I tell people all the time, like, I'll talk to you about RC cars all day.
Okay, yeah.
And Fred who is our train guy. He works part-time. He works Thursday, Friday, Saturdays. He's the same way with model railroading. He's built quite a few layouts. He has a very extensive layout right now, and he's happy to talk to you.
Yeah, I've walked out of hobby shops before because of the rude treatment. Like, hey, can I test run this locomotive that's been behind the display case for 2 years? No. Okay, never mind. See you later. So I think it's impressive that you guys are so committed to customer service, because that doesn't really exist in most hobby shops. Not that hobby shops are unfriendly, but it's just
no. Some of them are. Some of them are.
Yeah.
I just don't know why that would be your answer as a hobby shop employee or owner. If somebody wants to test drive, or test run a locomotive, why you would say no. Now, maybe if we're busy, I would say, give me a second, I'm with this other customer, and then I'll test it for you. But just straight up no. Like, why would you I don't understand why they would say that. But Derek, you can come to my store and we can test run any locomotive. We can do them all if you want. I don't care.
I need to get over to your store, honestly. I haven't been to the new barn yet. So
and that's White Rose Hobbies, and they're at 4401 West Market Street in York, PA, in downtown York, Pennsylvania. I know I know it's not downtown, but it sounds better when I say it.
Yeah.
But I actually
we're about an hour north of Baltimore. So if anyone's listening and you don't know where York is, but you know where Baltimore, Maryland is, straight up 83, about an hour, and you can be to us.
Do you get a lot of customers? Do you have any way of tracking? Like, do you make some point of tracking where your in store or your brick and mortar people come from?
In store is tough because a lot of people just want to give you their money and leave. We do have a rewards program. You can actually sign up for it now online too. Before it was just in store, but if you go to White Rose Hobbies, our homepage, top banner, there's loyalty rewards. You can sign up there. So that helps track it. But no, we're regional. Kind of pull everyone from York, Lancaster, Harrisburg, and then Northern Maryland.
You guys need to. They need to do, Derek, is put up like a big map, a flat map of the world. Something like 2 foot by 4 foot or something, and let people stick pins in it. So one day they'll walk in, and some guy that's heard the podcast from South Africa, and he's made the trip to the United States or something. He goes, I got to go to York, Pennsylvania, and see White Rose Hobbies.
Yeah, that's a great idea. They should do that. I mean, because of the podcast, we have people like Neil Erickson in Hawaii ordering from White Rose Hobbies.
Yeah. I talked to him a couple times last year, actually. He ordered from us. Yeah, we ship a lot to Hawaii, actually. Yeah, like just all kinds of model supplies.
So do you guys have gift certificates?
Yes, we do.
Because we have to send Eric his $50 gift certificate.
Okay.
I have to send you the money, and you have to send him this gift certificate.
Okay, that's not a problem.
All right.
We were supposed to do that last year, but
yeah.
Oh well,
sorry.
he asked about it too.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're doing.
I've been talking. I've been messaging with him. I'm like, relax. We're just figuring it all out. I said to him, White Rose Hobbies and Modeler's Life is in the infancy of their relationship, so we're just figuring it all out. I said, try to relax. So what big plans do you guys have for Springfield?
We're actually, because we had to let go some part-time people at the beginning of last year, so we don't have as much coverage at the store this year. Just Ryan and I are going to Springfield, so we're going to be very busy, and we cut our booth down a little bit in size. But I am excited because we right before, I guess the beginning of December, we bought a very nice used collection that has a lot of stuff in it. So we're taking a lot of that, yeah.
And did somebody come into the store and ask if you would buy it off them, kind of thing?
Yeah, that happens pretty regularly. But this one, I kind of wanted to talk about this a little bit, if that's okay. And just share what I see on my side of the industry. This person had a very extensive collection. It was a lot of pieces, and he had always had the aspirations of making this grand layout, and he never did because the time wasn't right, or his house wasn't ready, or whatever. And he ended up in a nursing home with failing health, and we bought it from the family. And I got thinking about this, and I want to share with the podcast. That's awesome that you have these aspirations to build a giant layout, at some point in the future, but don't wait around to do something. If you're not in a position where you can build the layout that you want, still do a 4x8 sheet. If you live in a small house, you're going to be moving, don't hoard all this stuff in hopes that you're going to someday do it, because someday never comes. So my advice is do what you can now, I guess.
That's great advice. There's a blog post that Lance Minheim did probably like 10 or 12 years ago, but he wrote it around Christmas time, and he called it "You Have a Layout by New Year's." And it was basically, here's what you could do to build a shelf style switching layout in roughly 2 weeks, and grab a piece of like 1x10 and some shelf brackets, and use this for grass, use this for track, and you can have a high quality switching layout. And it's a fantastic advice. Encourage folks to go look it up, but you can start running trains with like an Iowa Scale Engineering, like motorman that moves the train back and forth, and have a really high quality functioning layout without that much effort these days.
Yeah, well, the other thing too, like Woodland Scenics, when we sell them, has that whole HO. They have an N scale one, and they have an HO layout that you literally just buy. It's all the scenery and everything for like a 4x8 sheet of plywood. So you can get
you're
the whole
right.
kit. Yeah, it's a giant box, but you could do that, And I don't want people to buy all this awesome model railroad stuff and never get around to actually running it, because I see that a lot. There's very few collections that I buy that the stuff's even been used.
And that must be I'm kind of sensing from the way you're telling the story, I'm sensing that it must be pretty hard to talk to the family, and they're probably thinking it's worth X number of dollars, and you're kind of going, well, no, it's not, because, I got to make a profit, and it's only really worth X, and,
right.
And that's got to be hard for you.
Yeah. Those are tough conversations, but the family made the right decision, and we make fair offers on collections, and it doesn't. I guess the point I'm trying to make is it doesn't do anyone any good just sitting in a basement. Make
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because there's no harm in buying stuff with anticipation, but. I was recently, actually, maybe on tomorrow's podcast. I don't remember when but we were talking, and I was saying because I had my heart attack back in April, and I'm having a problem with my dexterity, I started building 1/24 scale models. And first one I built wasn't very good, and so I chucked it. But then I thought, I don't know if I can do it. But then I started to realize just the act of building stuff is very therapeutic. Like, the more you build, the more you enjoy it.
Yeah.
And the more you enjoy it, the more you do. Like, it's just fun to build. I think that's one of the big parts of the hobby, of any hobby, whether it's plastic models or model railroading or RC cars or anything. There's a sense of accomplishment in finishing a model or an RC car or whatever it is you're doing. And that's basically what you're saying. Like, don't just leave it on the shelf. Do something with it. Even if you never use the product, but you've actually taken it out of the box, you've painted it, you got it ready to go. The sense of accomplishment is far greater than just having it sit on the shelf.
I agree with that. I really do.
You sound kind of surprised that I said it.
Well, it was a pretty intelligent thing to say.
So here's the plan I have for Springfield, Derek.
What's that, Lionel?
See if you think this plan works.
Okay.
So you've been to Springfield. You realize what Saturday morning is like.
Yes.
I say that we go and do on-the-spot interviews with Ryan and Tom at about 9:45 on Saturday morning.
It's a great idea.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. maybe schedule like 45 minutes or an hour.
Yeah.
Around 9:45.
Yeah.
Thanks. I am really looking forward to that show. It's train shows are a lot of work when you're a vendor, and that one really doesn't feel like work. It's just fun. The people who put that show on, like if you're a customer just going there, you don't really see it from my end because I deal with a lot of show promoters, and they are just over the top great to deal with. The vendors are happy, Friday setup. It's just a good vibe. I've been to train shows where everyone's just grouchy, and I'm like, well, why are you even here? And that one just doesn't. So if you've never been to Springfield, please go. It is worth the trip.
That's a good point. It's a good vibe. It's just a fun thing to do. Like we have our little booth over. Are you going to put some stuff at our booth?
Yeah, what would you like me to put?
I don't know. So we you must have some sort of. I'm gonna make a sign that it goes on the back of on the wall behind us. It says White Rose Hobbies, the official sponsor of the AML network, or Modeler's Life, the official sponsor, Modeler's Life, and tell them Lionel sent you.
Okay, that'd be great.
And then we'll get something we'll get something, some cheese balls or something. I don't know.
Oh, we do like cheese balls.
I know. We'll do something. We'll figure something out. So do you have? Okay, so now here's Ryan and Tom. They're getting ready for Springfield. So how do you guys get your stuff there?
In a truck, in an enclosed trailer.
Okay, so you guys, one of you
drive.
One of you owns an enclosed trailer.
No, I own a truck and I'm a nice guy and people like me, so they let me borrow their enclosed trailer.
Oh, okay. Like you mean a pickup truck or a?
Yeah, just a.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And how big is the trailer?
6 by 10, I think. Not huge, but not small.
So then you pack it full of stuff.
Pack it full. Yeah, man.
And pack stuff in the back of the pickup truck.
Yeah, usually not so much with the Springfield show because of weather. And then like we go up the night before, so I don't really want it to be in the bed of the truck. But yeah, local train shows for sure. We'll put it in the bed. Like when we go to the Great Scale Show in Timonium, Maryland, we just
throw it in the back of the truck.
Yeah, it's straight down 83.
And how long?
Also a fantastic train show.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I've never been to that one. I got to go to that.
You should go.
I should. So how long does it take you guys to get to Springfield?
5 hours. But we usually make a day trip of it because there's actually several of our distributors are not that far out of the way between here and there. So we stop there and then sometimes we'll try to visit other hobby shops.
Would that be like NJ International and Hobby Time and those folks?
Yeah, Hobby Time is one.
Sorry, not NJ International. Stevens Hobby.
Yeah, Stevens. Well, I don't know if you saw the letter they put out there ceasing operations the end of this
Stevens
year.
is really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And what is Stevens? Is it a hobby shop?
No, they have a hobby shop there, but they're a distributor. They sell a lot of Bachman stuff, and then mostly they sell like model kits, lots of paint and plastics, and obviously woodland scenic, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, so they're now ceasing operations. Have you? What's the sense you're getting? So you guys now are getting the sense of, okay, there was a lull in the action, probably because of all the turmoil in the markets and all that stuff, and people not sure, and then they were realizing they were bored, so they start coming in and start buying plastic model kits and all the stuff that needs to go with it. So, are you guys? And you guys are heavily involved. Ryan is, even though he never comes on the podcast. He's heavily involved with, what's it called? There's some sort of association.
National Hobby Retailers Association of America. That one? Yes. I don't know. I only know it as NERSA, but that's an acronym and we're not allowed to say acronyms on here. So I don't actually know if it's National Hobby Retailers Association of America. It's just known as NERSA. But that's an acronym and you know how we feel about acronyms.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Ryan's got a position with them, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's the vice president.
Oh, is he the vice president now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's why we can't get him on the show, Derek, because he's too big for us.
He's way too big for us.
Yeah, he's too big for us. Where do you guys stay when you get there?
In a hotel. I don't know which one. Here's the thing. I'm really bad at I'm actually really good at procrastinating, which is a bad thing. So I waited to the last minute to book our hotel room, and I had to pick whichever one had rooms available. And this is our third time going to Springfield, and I don't know that we've stayed in the same hotel twice.
Okay, well, you need to start staying at the Hampton Inn in Enfield, Connecticut. It's like 8 miles from the Springfield.
We stayed there. Yeah, we stayed there the first time.
Yeah, it's perfect, and that's the official hotel of the AML Nation.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry that I'm not there.
Yeah, me too. And if you're around and you can manage to figure it out, on Thursday evening around 6:30, 7 o'clock, we go to the Longhorn Steakhouse, which is right beside it, and we all have dinner together.
Oh, that would be good. We could probably make that happen.
All right,
actually,
I'm gonna. Yeah, what?
Let me.
The Longhorn Steakhouse.
Thursday. Yeah. I got 2 free meals from them one time at the Longhorn Steakhouse here in New York.
How'd you do that?
They had a special, and it was a lobster stuffed fillet. And what they brought me was a lobster tail and a fillet. And I ate it. And like halfway through the meal, the waitress realized that they brought me the wrong thing. So she brought me the correct thing, which I also ate. And then they comped my meal. So I got two meals in one. It was...
So we just need to hang around with you guys. I'm excited to see the two of you trying to handle this crowd by yourself.
I know. My Rachel, our sales manager here, she's like, "Are you sure that you want to do this?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out."
I feel like what you guys could do is start deputizing people.
Yeah. Does anyone for like store credit want to come over to the booth and help us out?
I bet somebody from the AML Nation. I could see like Bill Ford, working the line for you guys or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or send David Start over.
David Start. Oh, the Start brothers could run that for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess let me ask you this. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to abandon the AML booth, but what kind of store credit are we talking about here, Tom? I mean, I need to weigh my offers here, man.
Commission based. The more you sell, the more store credit we give you.
Okay. Yeah, well, Lionel, you can handle the booth by yourself, right?
That's a mistake I made last year with Iowa Scaled Engineering. They're in Colorado. Don't ask me why. It makes no sense to me. But last year I helped sell a bunch of their proto throttles. I should have got some.
Didn't you sell like 12 proto throttles?
I think I sold more like 7 or 8.
Okay.
Maybe 10 or 12. I don't know what it was, but it was more than 1 and less than 20.
Those are great sales numbers. I wish I could do it that easy when I run reports.
Yeah, exactly. So I should have gone for commission. We got to get them back on the podcast too. Holy mackerel. So do you have any, will you have any, so you're going to have this estate sale. That's going to be a part of your booth. Now, what kind of stuff will you take that's not part of the estate sale? Like, what do you guys, when you're sitting around, how do you guys have meetings? It's like you come in the morning and what was that cartoon years ago? It was the chicken and the coyote or something, or chicken and the fox. And it was a cartoon that was like on TV. And it was, they'd come in and they'd punch the clock, and then they'd start chasing each other around. It was like on the Bugs Bunny show or something. I'll find it. When there's silence on the podcast, I know that I've gone way down a rabbit hole that nobody knows what I'm talking about.
Was this a black and white cartoon?
No. I will find it and send you a clip. I'm going to, just because, if I can get you to answer your messages.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm usually pretty good at that, but it was a blessing and a curse.
That's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem to have. So like you've got this one particular estate that you're going to sell, and then what other things do you guys decide like to take?
If we have if we're deep on a line, we always take that. And then we just try to take some new stuff. And this year we're going to take, I noticed there seems to be a lack of other like scenery. A lot of people don't take scenery. We're going to take some scenery, I think, because we sell a lot of that. And we're going to take some paints because people need paints and we sell a lot of paints too. So
there's so much paint. Nice. There's so much paint now.
Which paint line are you going to bring?
I don't know. Ryan and I haven't decided that. Ryan was the one that wanted to do that, so we're gonna
nice. Like bring a rack of all the colors and
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, we have a lot. I'd be willing to bet you'd be hard pressed to find another hobby store that had more different paints than us.
That's so cool. Yeah, that is very cool, and it's only possible because you have so many different hobby lines.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, what do you guys have planned for Bethlehem Car Works?
I know Ryan is wrapping up the Flying Yankee kits. They're like, the majority of them are here in the building now. He's just finishing the details on them. So that'll be soon. And then after that, what's in the works? I don't know, because that's a Ryan thing and he's very secretive. So
the Flying Yankee is coming out soon? Going to be available soon?
I believe so. Yeah, real soon. I think his goal was to have them available at Springfield, but I don't know that that's going to happen because we got so crazy in December.
And
So-
do you know how many kits what your overall number of kits is going to be for that? Because it seemed like it was going to be a pretty cool model.
So the great thing about Bethlehem Car Works, we can make, if we have orders for 50, we can make 50. We don't, if we have orders for 100, we can make them. So that's as people order them, we can make them. Yeah.
So you're probably going to have one. Last year, it seemed to me you had one that was it completely finished on display or?
Yeah, we had the prototype there. It turned out so good. So, like I said, I know there's 20 some kits here, I think, in the store, in the warehouse, in the BCW room, but that's an acronym, so it's Bethlehem Car Works room. But yeah, Ryan would be more up on that, and I don't really want to say too much, can give somebody the wrong information, but they're very close. They're closer than they've ever been before right now.
So my understanding from this is that you can buy one at Springfield and it's going to cost $29.99.
$29.99?
Yeah, is that right? No,
That seems
a
a
little more. Okay,
yeah. Like $299, like $29.99 for a locomotive. Like, what are you, drunk?
Well, it's not just a locomotive, it's a whole train.
it is the whole train.
Set
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Or you mean $29.99, like as in $2,999?
It was a joke.
Oh,
Now
okay.
people are, oh man, Ryan's gonna be
see.
so mad. So look, if you want one without a coder, so DCC, and that's an inside joke, I'll tell you later. $399 DC, and if you want one with a decoder and sound, $599.99
For the whole train.
Yeah, I mean it's a kit. You got to put it together.
Yeah, but still, that doesn't seem.
It's very well detailed.
I mean, one brass passenger car is like $1,000. So yeah, it seems like a decent deal for a train that hasn't been made before.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're actually it's cool how things aligned. There's a historical society, and I know some of those guys are listening. I don't know the exact name of the historical society, but they're putting the Flying Yankee actually back to operational. Like, I think that's happening this year. So it came out at a good time.
Yeah, that's another one on the list, Derek, that I've been thinking we should contact the Flying Yankee people, the Historical Society.
It's a great idea.
It is a great idea. We should, but we have so many people to talk to, and a lot of them actually answer the messages when we send them.
Yeah. I know. All right. That New Year's resolution, answer the
Lionel's messages.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AML messages. Put that as a priority. Hey, Derek, I felt like earlier you were mocking me.
What?
When I said let's interview them around 9:45 on Saturday morning, and you said we'll schedule an hour. I thought you were mocking. We don't have to. Well, 15 minutes. We'll just pull them aside at 9:45 on Saturday morning, and each one we'll interview each one for 15 minutes, and watch the other one try to control the situation.
Oh, okay. Okay. It's a gentle social experiment. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Yeah, it's mostly for our entertainment, just to watch them struggle. Most years I go by the Tangent booth and I say to David Leal at about 10 o'clock, and he's got they're 6 deep at his booth and he's selling stuff as fast as he can process it. And I go, do you have time for an interview? 4401. Oh, I know I was going to ask you, is there a Dairy Queen near your shop?
Yeah, there is actually.
Which direction?
East.
Towards town?
Yeah.
And how many blocks would you say it is?
Well, it's probably a 10-minute drive, 12-minute drive. It's close enough that we used to have a high school kid that loved Dairy Queen that he would go there on his break to get food and get back.
So, because I feel like, Derek, we should include that in our promos when we're talking about whiterosehobbies.com. That's White Rose Hobbies. They're at 4401 Market Street in downtown PA. Well, it's not really downtown. It's on the outskirts. It's on the western edge of York, Pennsylvania. And the area code is 17408. And you can call at 717-505-8676. Ask for Tom and tell him Lionel sent you.
Just down the road from the Dairy Queen.
Just a 10-minute drive from Dairy Queen.
I mean, could you imagine a better day and go to White Rose Hobbies, buy some locomotives, buy some paint, and then go up the road to Dairy Queen and get yourself a Blizzard? I mean, come on.
I mean, if you want model trains and ice cream, I can send you to better ice cream places than Dairy Queen.
Yeah, but Dairy Queen's kind of been a thing for us for years. The
Okay,
Blizzard.
sorry.
Yeah, it's a thing. I feel like this relationship, as the years goes by, is just going to deteriorate.
Well, that's what I signed up for.
Just like every relationship, right?
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so you guys are bringing some paint. You got a little more. How do you do? Are you guys pretty electronically? What's the word? Skilled? Or like, do you have all kinds of fancy ways for people to pay? They can pay with a credit card and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. We can do PayPal, credit card, chip, tap, cash, Bitcoin. However, I don't care.
So when you say you increase the crawling track by 5,000 square feet, where did you put that? Because, I've been to your place twice, and I remember that the crawling track and the RC track is between the building and the roadway.
Yeah, it's out back. So I don't know if you guys know the story of this property. I inherited it from my parents, and I always used to ask my dad where the property line was. Now, this is the property line behind the building, like away from Route 30, going to the neighbors, which is a car dealer. And he always used to say, Tom, it's the telephone pole. Well, okay. So I just assumed it was the close telephone pole. There's actually two. And we had to pull some permits for putting the on-road track in. And we realized with pulling permits that we had more land than we thought. It was the second telephone pole, not the first one. And, we decided that, well, since we have more land, let's increase the crawler course. And that's what we did.
And what is crawling exactly? Because I'm not necessarily familiar with it, but.
Well, I'm glad you asked. That's a very good question.
See, that's one each now, Derek.
There we go. Yes.
That could be a game. Who's going to ask the best questions to
Well, if we do an hour of podcasting, there should be at least 2 good questions, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Not bad. So rock crawling is their very scale, low speed, high torque RC cars that have a lot of articulation in their suspension. It's essentially to mimic like real off-roading, or like people who do trails with Jeeps and things. Anything that you can put on a real trail rig, you can put in an RC crawler. We have scale custom winches, light kits. There's even sound boxes that you can put engine sounds in. It's really, really cool. The 3D printing world opened up so much for the rock crawler guys. People put scale coolers in the bed of their truck, scale toolboxes. It's a lot. So it really, we've noticed it kind of transcends, into the detail oriented model train guys. You can do that with a rock crawler.
And that's because they're not like RC cars or speed and they bump in and they crash and all that stuff. With rock crawlers, they go so slow. You can detail them up like crazy.
You're correct, yeah. And then our competitions, we have crawler competitions where we set 10 gates, and we use a half a tennis ball, for a gate, and they're about 12 inches apart. And you're timed to get through the 10 gates. Whoever does it in the fastest, but also the least amount of points. So if you hit a gate, you get points. If you roll over, that's points. So you want to have the lowest amount of points and do it in the fastest time. And then you get what's called scale points. So if you have, a detailed interior, you get points for that. If you have a driver in your car, you have points for that. And then scale detail parts, like I said, like a winch, like a cooler, all kinds of things like that. So,
that's just a competitive operating session for model trains, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The trains run on time, and that's fascinating. You get to do it together with the community. And the best part about, I think, the crawling hobby and model railroading hobby is that the stuff moves.
Correct.
How cool is that?
Yeah. Yeah, that could be. Yeah, I was just, and I've cut you off there, and that was rude, and I apologize. But but I shouldn't have. But a lot of times you're not that interesting, so I go ahead and cut you off. Now, but the crawling hobby sounds like it's very similar to model railroading, where it's actually, there's things to do and competitions. Like with model railroading, it's operations. With rock crawling, and like you say, you can detail it up because it goes so slow. So how much does it cost to buy a rock crawler say a dad and a boy come in, the son is 15 years old, you want to get them started, they want to get involved in the competitions. Like what's a starting cost for rock crawling?
It depends. We have different levels and also scales. Like we have 1/18 scale and we have 1/10 scale. Obviously the 1/10 scale are larger. The 1/18 scale you can get for under $200. And then I want to say the cheapest 1/10 scale is about 380 roughly. A quality one, if you wanted to compete with, would be like I think they're $549 now for a Vanquish VRD stance, which is out of the box the best RC crawler we've ever sold. So yeah, you can do it. I mean, it's kind of a big upfront cost, but then once you get that, then they don't really break because they don't go super fast. So there's not a lot of maintenance afterwards, just cleaning it. But yeah, but seeing the kids do it, my little boy, he worked all summer last year doing chores he wanted a new crawler, so we said, well, you can earn it, and he was doing laundry and helping with every kid to get $5-10, and he earned it in about 4 months, which was pretty cool.
Cool. I got a tip for him when he gets married as far as laundry goes.
What's that?
And I got this tip for when I worked for the Canadian National Railroad, and my supervisor, the guy who was running the terminal, called me in the day before, 2 days before, and he says, I hear you're getting married. And I went, yeah. And he says, I got a little tip for you. I said, okay. He said, you should help with the laundry. I went, okay. He says, get 2 red things and some white stuff and wash them together. And I said, won't the dye run? He says, exactly. And you'll never do laundry again.
I don't know. That's helpful. I didn't know you worked for the railroad.
I did. That was like my first real job out of high school. It was crazy. That was 1970, late 71, early 72, like around April of 72. They hired me when I just had turned, I was 18 years and 3 months old, and they hired me to be a truck driver. And pretty quickly, I was driving tractor trailers for the railroad. Like, it was a crazy. Back then, to get your license for tractors, it was like you checked off a box. Do you want to drive truck? And you would check off a box, and then you had to go out and basically teach yourself how to drive.
Nice.
And so they had a test when they hired you. They had a test, but they were so desperate for drivers. It was like, so long as you didn't drive off the bridge, you were good to go.
Yeah, I didn't know you worked for it. I hired when I was 18 too, and it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and I worked there for that was the only real job I ever had before I started in business by myself. And then I think I worked there 3.5, 4 years. And then maybe almost 5. And then, like by the time I was 23, I'd gotten 5 years in, but I was I'd worked all over. It was crazy back then because it was, you're talking 72 to 77. There were basically very few rules. Don't hit stuff, don't break stuff. That was it. Like, if you could do the job, have at it, boys. And it was great. I worked all over the yard. I worked on some of the locomotives in the yard. I worked in the car shops. It was great. It was great. You could bid any job. You could actually, and at that time, the Canadian government owned the railroad, Canadian National Railroad, and they owned Air Canada Airlines, which was the biggest airline in Canada. And you could go to the bid board and you could bid jobs at the airport, like fueling planes.
Oh.
It was crazy. It was
wild.
Crazy. So that's what I did. So, and we still have got to get you and Ryan on here so we can talk train stories.
I think that would be a really good podcast. That would be pretty funny.
I think it would be a great podcast. Hey, you know what? I just had an idea, Derek.
What's that, Lionel?
Why don't we get the two of them together around 10:30 on Saturday morning, and we'll do like train stories.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their booth is right inside the main entrance to the largest building. So it's a great time for them to be talking to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Are you in the same place?
Yeah, same place. Yep.
Because we're going to be interviewing John Sacerdoti, the fellow that runs the show. Great guy. Just a wonderful.
He is a good dude.
How much space did you give up?
We normally do 12 tables, and this year we're doing 8. So 8 or 6. I have to look.
Yeah, so you'll be able to get him back at some point, probably.
Yeah, that's what he said. It just we want to see how this goes this year, and because sometimes in business you overdo everything and make it harder than it really has to be. So we're just trying to simplify things, I guess.
Will you have any great sales? Can you think off the top of your head while we're on the podcast? This is on the free channel because it's sponsored by whiterosehobbies.com. They're at 4401 West Market Street, just down the road from, actually, they're just down the road from the RV park. The, let's see, what is it? The Ben Franklin RV Park. You're not very far from the Ben Franklin RV Park.
No.
Apparently.
Somebody should do a small model railroad layout in their camper.
There you go. And then there's a giant quarry next to that.
Oh, yeah. There's a huge vein of, I'm not even sure what kind of rock it is, but this whole area, there's tons of quarries. Actually, Baker's Quarry, which was close to us, they usually blast on Thursdays, and it sounds like an earthquake. And I haven't heard the blast today, so maybe they're not doing it. But
and there's a rail yard not far down the road off of Market Street either.
yeah, Lincoln Yard. That was Western Maryland, and now it was Western Maryland, and it was the MPA in Maryland and Pennsylvania, and now it's a subsidiary of Genesee and Wyoming.
I'd have to plug Lance Mendheim twice in the same podcast, but he recently wrote a piece about, where's the best place to rail fan for industrial switching in the country. And I think his top 3 were Los Angeles, Miami, and York, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, York's good. I would agree with that.
You understand that this is sponsored by White Rose Hobbies, eh?
It's okay.
Oh no, I was talking to Derek. He's like, he's pushing Lance Mendheim. Do you even know who Lance Mendheim is?
Yeah, he was in the store the other day.
Well, there you go. Oh, cool.
Yes.
No, I actually don't know who it is.
Oh. Because he's in Baltimore, so I'd imagine that.
Oh, maybe he probably has.
Yeah.
He probably has been in your store.
I'm really bad with names, but I remember faces. So it's weird. I'll be like at Walmart with my wife, and somebody will say hi, and they'll be like, "What's that guy's name?" And I'm like, "I don't know, Kelly," but I see him at the store all the time. So
years ago, my business was much, much bigger. We had like 30, 35 employees, and we're in a mall in one of our areas that we owned, our franchise areas that we owned, and this guy comes up to me and he's chit-chatting away, and I always like try to act like, "Oh yeah, hi, how you doing?" Like, blah, blah, blah. And my wife says, after he leaves, he says, "You don't know who that guy is, do you?" And I went, "No." He says, "He's worked for us for 2 years." And it wasn't long after that we started thinking, this is getting out of hand. Let's downsize. Yeah. Let's downsize. So, okay, so I'm looking at a Google map of your thing, and so it looks like the rock crawling place is to the south of the building, and the RC track is to the north.
No, it's backwards.
Okay, I knew that. I was just testing you.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so you guys own back to the tree line there or something?
I don't know how good Google Maps is, but you can see there's like a second telephone pole. There's a gravel road behind us, and then like grass. We own half of that grass there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So that's where the new crawler course expansion is going.
And I see that people can rent RC crawlers.
Yeah. That's so funny. I was just going to say that. It's like you read my mind. Yeah, we have rentals available. I just ask that if you're interested in that, message us ahead of time so we can make sure we have one reserved for you and ready to go.
So I could rent one of those and try it out?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's actually winches that are operating on the 1/10 scale?
Oh, yeah. They're Warren. We have a bunch of different brands, but we have actual scale licensed ones through Warren 1/10 scale, and they're really strong. I think they'll pull like 10 or 12 pounds.
Cool. Yeah. And you can use the crawling track for $10 a day.
Yeah, but that's going to change. Don't promote that.
Okay, you're not going to.
The new expansion, and it's been $10 a day since we've had the rock crawling course for like 5 years. So February 1st, it's going up to $15.
Okay. Well, that's like at the end of this year, I'm going to be doubling the amount it costs to advertise on the podcast.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad our contract ends the end of this year.
Okay, so it's going to be $15 a day to use the use the track, and then the monthly pass will probably be like $30 or $35.
Yeah, monthly pass is $39.99, and if you want to buy an unlimited pass for the year, it's $299.99.
And is there the same kind of thing for the RC track?
We are putting together a promotional, but see, the RC track's not open all year. So we don't have like a yearly pass. We have a seasonal pass. And I just had a meeting about that. I think that's going to like 150 for the season for unlimited practice. And then it's 15 a day if you just want to come out and run.
And you always talk, every time we talk to you, you talk about guys that are national champion guys and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So is the RC racing, is that kind of like a moving touring thing that people kind of travel all over the country to get involved in races?
I mean, there's no like national series like NASCAR or something like that, but there are major big races, several every year. That's a national event. And if you win that, you're kind of the national champion of that event. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
And there's Worlds too.
Worlds, wow.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
A question we have, that because we talk about this quite a bit on the podcast when we're promoting White Rose Hobbies, is candy and snacks.
Yeah.
And we have yet to figure out why candy and snacks is listed under retail racing.
Oh, I don't know. I'll have to change that.
Where would you put it?
I don't know. But we sell Jelly Bellies. We love jelly. Funny story about that. Jelly Belly got...
Just hang on a minute. We do have a hard and fast rule. You tell the story and we'll determine whether or not it's funny.
I think it's funny. So Jelly Belly, we carry them. They sell really well. And I'm like addicted to sugar, so it's bad. But so they got a new distributor and we had to go to the new one. And I ordered, everybody was talking about this Dubai chocolate. Have you seen that? It's like this TikTok craze. Yeah. So I was like, I'll just order a case of Dubai chocolate bars. And I didn't really look at the price. And I ordered it and it was 6 bars and it was like $80 some. And I was like, how is this? Is this right? And I called my rep and I'm like, I only wanted one case. It was supposed to be $6. She's like, yeah, that's how much it is. It's right. It was the actual chocolate from Dubai, not the knockoff that like everyone sells here. So I had to I forget our retail price. It was like $13 for a candy bar. Nobody but me bought them, and I ended up eating the whole box myself. It was really good. I will say it was worth I can't believe I spent $13 for a chocolate bar, but it was definitely worth it.
No, my wife loves the Dubai chocolate stuff.
Yeah.
I've never even heard of Dubai chocolate.
It's like a pistachio base, right?
Yeah. It's pistachio, like peanut butter.
Chocolate.
It's like the consistency of peanut butter, but it's made with pistachios.
Oh, okay. Look, what's your favorite Jelly Belly?
The tropical one, the tropical mix.
Oh, yeah?
My favorite.
I see they got Dr. Pepper.
That's a popular one, too. Not so much. I'm a fan, but...
Watermelon. That one's pretty good. I've had the watermelon. That's pretty good. I don't mind the watermelon. And you sell Moses Family Jerky.
Yes, we do. That's made locally here.
And how did you end up selling Moses Family Jerky?
So I used to drink a lot. I don't drink at all anymore. And the beer distributor I went to had Moses Family Jerky there, and I tried it and thought it was really, really good and saw they were a local company. So I reached out, and that's how we got them. Yeah.
What on average, how long does it take you guys to get an order out? Like if somebody ordered some Jelly Bellies today before 3 p.m., how long would it take you to get that order out?
Right. If you order that right now, it's 2:07 Eastern time, it would leave today.
Oh yeah. Okay. So like if you order by 3, it would leave today or no?
Yeah, I can't, I can't say that all the time because we were super busy, but that is probably the rule 70%. And sometimes, it takes the next day. Of course, if you order after our pickup comes, then you got to wait till the next day.
Yeah. And do you have somebody that's dedicated just to picking the orders and packing them up?
We have one person that's dedicated to packing the orders. And then we just, if you're working in the RC department between customers, you pull web orders for RC. And if you're in trains, you do that. So we all kind of help pull web orders throughout the day.
I think it's really interesting that you guys are this. I feel like, Derek, this is the first shop that I've talked to in years, certainly in the last few, where their walk-in traffic, their brick and mortar traffic is as important as their web traffic.
Yeah, that's quite impressive.
Yeah, like that's you guys must know that that from your dealings with the industry that's unusual, right?
I guess so. We just want to be friendly and help people enjoy a hobby.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I love it when I ask him a question. He goes, I guess so. I don't know. People are coming in, so we're selling them stuff.
Yeah. It's nice to see the families come in too. We have a father and son, they're train guys, and they come in pretty religiously every Saturday afternoon. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, and your store is one of those stores where you can't walk out without something in your hand. You know,
Yeah.
that's the key to a good hobby store. You'll walk in, you might have some specific thing in mind, or you're just going in because you've never been into that hobby store and you think, I'll go check this hobby store out. And you walk in and you're like, when you get that aura of, I can't leave here without something in my hand because I'm going to be missing something, that's when you know you've really got it working.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like your store. I mean, your store is so well stocked, and the departments, it's like you feel like, oh, I got to buy something, even if it's like 3 bottles of paint. I got to buy something. I can't leave here without something in my hand.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can get Jelly Bellies and jerky too if you're hungry. You know.
Or Dubai chocolate.
No more Dubai chocolate. I don't.
No more? Okay.
Unless I order it personally for myself, because we literally did not sell that to one customer.
Do you enjoy do you enjoy the Barbie Jelly Bellies?
I didn't try those ones yet, but we do have those. The
Joe, do you have all of these in stock?
the Jelly Bellies? Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, if it's on our
Wow.
website. It says.
And how did that?
I do actually need to place a new Jelly Belly order.
How did that come about that you started stocking Jelly Bellies?
I really don't know. I think I was at.
Seriously, do you have any connection with the ownership of this shop?
No, I don't. I'm just the guy that goes on podcasts to make people smile. I think Ryan and I were visiting a store and they had them, and I was like, we could definitely do that. I'm not sure. I think Ryan brought those in, but I always eat too many for sure because sugar is so good.
All right. Well, you got to tell Ryan that at Springfield we're going to interview him at some point.
He will. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Last year you did, didn't you, Derek?
Yeah, we interviewed both of them.
Yeah, exactly. And it was good too. Yeah.
I know. I'm really looking forward to that. That's what, like 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks from today's the 12th. What day is today, Tom?
It's the 12th in podcast land.
Yeah, there you go. Attaboy. Yeah, so 2 weeks. Yeah, so the next week's the 19th, and then the 21st, and then that Thursday's when you guys hit the road.
Yeah,
and hopefully you'll remember to join us for dinner at the.
I wrote it down. What time did you say?
No, 6:37, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Well, after we get off there, you know what? I know I have your cell phone number here. It's 613-892-4623. So, you know what? I'll just text you.
Okay.
There we go. Everybody
whoever's number
put your orders in.
Yeah, whoever's number that is going to get a lot of text messages.
It's your number. We just play along. It's part of the bit. You got to play along. You make it really sing. Our premier, the premier of Ontario, which is like this state governor. So Ontario right now, I'm just north of Toronto, and our premier decided he had this brainwave where he was going to make his cell phone accessible to all his constituents.
Oh my gosh.
There's like 14 million people in Ontario. And it's like, yeah, that was a bad idea.
That seems like a really bad idea.
Why would anyone think that would be a good idea?
I know. Well, he wanted to be in touch with his constituents. Well, he is, but you know. All right, that's it. So, okay. Derek, can you give out our email address?
I can. If you'd like to reach us to the wonders of email, you can do that at modellerslife@gmail.com. That's modeler with one L, like Springfield, not 2 L's, like rock crawler rental.
Yeah. Or I was going to do 2 L's, like either jelly or belly.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. And if you enjoyed this podcast and you'd like to have some more podcasting, you can join our Patreon channel. And for just a few cents a day, you'll get a free podcast on Monday, and then there's one behind the paywall on Tuesday. And it's really fun because it's lots of just laid back discussion. And we should get Tom on that one day. He'd enjoy that. And then, and if you really want to support the channel, you can move up to the T-shirt level and enter the game that is sweeping the globe. Hey, dude, where's my shirt? Because if you're at the T-shirt level, every year you get a T-shirt that's only available to Patreon members. And the problem there is that our shipping department isn't nearly as efficient as the shipping department at White Rose Hobbies. So you'll get your shirt, but the key is, hey, dude, where's my shirt?
Unfortunately, we're not as quick to ship as White Rose Hobbies.
No, but we are very good at keeping track of everybody's shirt and who's supposed to get what shirt and yada, yada, yada. So eventually everybody gets their shirt. Hey, Tom, if I sent you some AML shirts, would you wear them?
Yeah.
Okay. What size are you?
Extra large.
Oh, you like them skin tight, do you?
Yeah, I got a pretty sweet figure, and I want everyone to see it.
All right. I think, have we covered everything, Derek?
I think so.
All right. So now this is the key moment. This is what makes or breaks every podcast, Tom, is you're sending us out with a bang.
Okay. Bang.
Yeah. So at the end of my little ditty, you're going to have to come up with something clever.
Okay.
So remember, a Modeler's Life podcast is considered marginally adequate by 6 out of 10
hobby shop owners who are excited to see it. AML Nation at Springfield.
It's another Lincoln Homer.
Wow, that was sweet.
Yeah, that's great.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Descriptive.
You had help with that one, didn't you?
Yeah, ChatGPT helped me.